Come on, man, niggas know. And then you in Atlanta at that, where niggas indulge in spending money. Like, you see a nigga motherfucking with 100,000 poking out his pocket. Niggas is doing 40, 50,000 in the club. That's what you around, nigga. You gonna spend money.
I go out and spend $50,000, $100,000 every night, 2-3 nights in a row, 3-4 nights in a row.
BMF boss, the legend Big Meech, has a GoFundMe page.
What?
It was said that this GoFundMe page was set up to assist him in paying his bills since his Welcome Home concert got canceled.
Chrome heart jeans. You got 10 pair of those, do the math. What's that, 100,000? Shout to Chrome heart, you know what I'm saying? But you know me, I get some Chrome hearts, I'm gonna wear them shits for at least 2 weeks. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say.
Big Meech's financial problems are rapidly becoming public knowledge, and Tony Yayo isn't pulling any punches. In a recent interview, Yayo laid everything bare, shedding light on why he believes 50 Cent has distanced himself from Meech. According to Yayo, the issue centers around one thing. Money.as Yayo tells it, the once massive fortune Meech amassed during his Black Mafia Family era has been completely spent. Every dollar gone. And it's not just Meech who's allegedly run out of funds. His son, Little Meech, is also rumored to have exhausted his share of the wealth. To make matters worse, Yayo claims 50 Cent has deliberately separated himself from the family. In fact, he says 50 has even considered shutting down the hit television series BMF, which, realistically speaking, is one of the last major revenue streams still tied to Meech's name. If true, that could be a serious blow.
Elliot did my new BMF piece. My old BMF pieces I don't have no more. Elliot charged me $200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams. It's chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3-4 hours. My neck started hurting. The lock say Eliante on it. You know, say his name, his signature. They got the 3 big boogers on each side. So ain't no regular Cuban, you know. You might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100 maybe, but you know, it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3 just for the pendant. There's some shit like, either I give my daddy, like when he come home, like I keep this forever, like, you know. You can't go no bigger than this, you know. You don't see no silver or gold, you see straight water.
This suggests that both father and son may be standing at the brink of financial collapse with no solid source of income in sight. According to Yayo, the family's financial downfall is entirely of their own doing. He believes they've created this situation for themselves and have no one else to blame, and he's not basing this on speculation. Yayo insists he heard it directly from Meech. Here's how the story unfolded. During a sit-down with Vlad TV, Tony Yayo was asked about Meech, and he didn't hold back. He recounted how, following Meech's release from prison on October 15, 2024, he and a few others, including rapper Uncle Murda, paid him a visit at his home to welcome him back. What was intended to be a casual, celebratory visit quickly turned into something much more revealing. According to Yayo, the atmosphere quickly became uncomfortable. He explains that during their time together, Meech began expressing frustration about his son, Little Meech. Specifically, Meech allegedly brought up that Little Meech wasn't offering him any financial support. Yayo describes the moment clearly. They were hanging out in the backyard. Everything seemed casual when Meech suddenly mentioned, "Yo, Little Baby ain't give me no money." Now, Yayo clarifies that the reference to Lil Baby wasn't about the rapper, it was simply how Meech referred to his son, the younger Meech. What struck Yayo was the contrast. Little Meech didn't appear to be struggling at all. On the contrary, he'd been seen arriving in a Ferrari truck, fully decked out.
It was a money thing, because what Lil Meech said about the Ferrari and Little Baby having 4 pockets full of money and didn't give his pops nothing. You know what I'm saying? Me, I would have never, if a nigga, I wouldn't even have mentioned no shit like that in front of real niggas anyway. That's just me.
Go out and spend $50,000, $100,000 every night, 2-3 nights in a row, 3-4 nights in a row. Now you got so dudes in the corner watching that want to spend a couple $1 million with you. You see what I'm saying? I got lavish homes, lavish spots all over this mother.
He was living the high life with what Yayo calls 4 pockets full, highlighting the obvious wealth. But rather than sympathize with Meech, Yayo says he was taken aback by the complaint. He felt it didn't make sense for a father to expect his grown son to fund his lifestyle. From Yayo's perspective, Little Meech had no obligation to provide financial support. That's when things became clearer to Yayo. In his view, Meech's financial issues weren't the fault of anyone else. They stemmed from years of poor money management. According to Yayo, Meech had spent the BM fortune without investing, saving, or preparing for the future. And once the money was gone, there was nothing left to fall back on. For that reason, Yayo didn't feel sympathy. He saw the situation as the outcome of financial missteps, not betrayal or neglect by others. Even so, Yayo couldn't stop thinking about 50 Cent's role in the situation. He suggests that maybe, just maybe, if 50 had offered Meech some kind of help, even a small gesture, things might have turned out differently. Yayo reflects, maybe 50 should have bought a bag from Meech. Maybe a watch or something. In other words, a symbolic financial show of support, not necessarily out of obligation, but as a sign of respect and loyalty. But according to Yayo, that never happened. And now, the divide between 50 and Meech seems deeper than ever. Taken as a whole, Yayo's account presents a complicated situation, one filled with personal history, unspoken expectations, and growing tension. Meech is newly released from prison and trying to readjust to a world that has moved forward without him. Meanwhile, his son is reportedly enjoying a wealthy lifestyle but isn't sharing those resources. And 50 Cent, who arguably has the power to shift the narrative, seems ready to step away from the entire situation. If Yayo's version of events is accurate, then Meech's return isn't just delayed, it's in serious jeopardy. The clock may be running out. That's the same mindset Rick Ross reportedly had, and Meech had even mentioned this possibility to both Tony Yayo and Uncle Morta. From that conversation, it became clear either Meech was hoping for some financial support or he had already exhausted his funds. It's worth noting that Meech and 50 Cent had reportedly made a couple of $1 million together. So, perhaps if some of that money had been put aside for Meech's release, their relationship might have remained intact. Still, it's an understandable situation. Youth, money, and lack of experience often lead to poor financial planning. That could also explain why Boosie had initially agreed to perform a free Welcome Back Home concert for Meech, though it was eventually canceled. The assumption was that Boosie, along with others involved, had offered to do it without compensation. After all, it's not typical to expect payment from someone who's just returned home from a long prison sentence. However, if Meech was relying on his son for financial support, that may have been unrealistic. Little Meech seems to reflect similar spending patterns to his father. According to Yayo, at one point, he spent $100,000 on Chrome Hearts jeans, reportedly owning about 10 pairs in total. This indicates that money management may not be one of Little Meech's strengths otherwise. He might have been in a position to support his father financially. Yayo pointed out that having access to wealth at a young age is often risky. He and his peers went through a similar phase years ago, back when they were spending $1,000 on Red Monkey jeans. Today, those same luxury fashion prices have more than tripled. Lil Meech is also known to own high-end items like Richard Mille watches and other luxury goods. Spending $10,000 on a single pair of jeans, only to wear them briefly before moving on to something new, reflects a short-lived approach to wealth. Living in Atlanta likely contributes to this lifestyle. The city is filled with entertainers making millions through tours and streaming deals, creating an environment where heavy spending feels normal. Add in Atlanta's well-known nightlife, from clubs like Magic City to its broader entertainment scene, and it's easy to see how money disappears fast. These habits were already visible back in 2023 when Little Meech appeared on GQ's On the Rock series. During the episode, he showcased a $500,000 BM chain. He revealed that the Cuban link itself cost $200,000, weighing over a kilo with 3 large stones on each side, while the pendant alone cost $300,000. He even admitted the chain was so heavy he couldn't wear it for more than 4 hours at a time. At the time, he said he would either hold on to it for life or pass it on to his father once he was released, but the extravagant spending goes beyond just jewelry. Little Meech has publicly stated that he's capable of spending $500,000 in one night and doing so for several nights in a row, all while maintaining luxury homes and costly properties. The situation became more complicated when 50 Cent gave Little Meech a reality check via a now-deleted Instagram post. In that post, 50 shared screenshots of text messages in which Little Meech confronted him over recent remarks about his father. According to those messages, Little Meech had heard that 50 unfollowed him on Instagram and was now managing Skilla Baby. Alongside Rocket and artist Little Meech claimed to have introduced to 50 in the first place, Lil Meech insisted he had always been loyal to 50 Cent, claiming he'd give him the shirt off his back and had never changed up. He also addressed his father's recent association with Rick Ross, explaining that it only happened because Ross had given Big Meech some money to help with bills until the next season of BMF began. 50's response was sharp. What next season? Little Ninja? Suggesting he could easily replace Little Meech in the show or even shut it down altogether. While some viewed this as harsh, 50 didn't seem to hold back. He even posted a fake GoFundMe for Big Screech with the caption, "Help him pay his $130,000 a month Airbnb," tagging quality control and claiming it was one of P's properties. There were also unverified rumors that Big Meech had actually created a real GoFundMe after the cancellation of the Welcome Home concert, hoping to manage outstanding bills. Though these claims haven't been confirmed, it was believed that proceeds from the concert were meant to help cover his expenses. Yayo added that when 50 first visited Meech at his home after his release, their interaction seemed positive. They reminisced about the past and discussed future plans. But things began to change following the Rick Ross involvement. While many point to Ross as the reason for the fallout, Yayo offered another explanation: the financial split from the BMF TV series. 50 Cent reportedly earned millions, while Meech now faces financial hardship. Meech, known for being in control, is now in a position where 50 holds all the leverage, a shift that, according to Yayo, complicates the relationship. As he put it, "You were with 50 talking about the future. He made your family money. You'd expect a little more appreciation." Meech has always had a reputation for being independent, and that self-reliance might have contributed to the tension with 50 Cent, according to Yayo's interview with Vlad TV. 50 went above and beyond for Little Meech during his father's incarceration, even covering his acting school expenses and helping change his path entirely. Yayo explained, taking Little Meech and putting him in acting school took him from Detroit to a completely different lifestyle. "I remember when he was rapping and no one was helping him. Then 50 sent him to acting school, kept it low-key, and it ended up making him all this money. Because of that, many fans now believe it's clear who has played the more significant role in Little Meech's development between 50 Cent and Big Meech."